Starting a side hustle over 35 is hard until you learn this. It's just not easy. You're over 35, you might be married, you're wondering about your job right now, maybe. You got parents getting sick, and there's just so many things that just come up, just because it's life. But you always wanted to feel more secure. And you can't feel any more secure when you're not certain about your job. Stuff is going up and down. You think AI is going to replace you. You're seeing, your department heads, not being as optimistic and kind of looking at your work funny. And you get into sinking feeling that you might be next on the next layoff. And so you want to do something about it. You want to be proactive. Like any millennial like myself, you want to be proactive. You're like, you know what? I don't want to be the one on the short end of the stick and then be unemployed for 9 months, right? So you figure, oh, we're going to do side hustles because we all believe in that. But here's the thing. We're 35 and we're older. We're not 20 something. We may not have parents we can lean on anymore. And maybe we have other responsibilities. We have our kids. So we can't just do things just to do them. And if we're already concerned about where our money is going, we got to be careful about how much we're spending and investing into doing this thing. And we got to be committed to it. So whatever it is we do to create a new side hustle with the benefit that it's going to bring us more money so that, if the inevitable happens and we do get that call from HR, we're going to be okay. Or we want to switch to what we're doing and live more of the life with the rest of the life we have the way we want to, then this thing has to work as safely as possible. We're not 18 years old anymore. We're not 22 years old anymore. We have a lot at stake. And if you got student loans, you definitely need something that's going to bring money in so that you can take care of those things that maybe you might have ignored for a little while. So, in my journey of freelancing and entrepreneurship, there are about 3 different things that I wish I knew that would have made this a heck of a lot easier. And I'm going to share it here because I want you to know so that you don't make the mistakes I made and we all get there a lot faster together. And the first thing I learned, when you're starting your side hustle that I wish I knew before was sell a service first. Now, there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos and videos on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else talking about how great it is to start an e-commerce store, how great it is to start an Etsy shop. I had a subscription box service. I should know. E-com seems easy. It seems like the dream. Except when you're in it and you got to worry about storage and you got about listings and you got to worry about copyright infringement because a product that you ordered to sell, well, someone didn't have the right permissions. Getting traffic, keeping stock, dealing with returns and replacements, the things that they don't talk about in those videos when they say this stuff is so easy and you jump into it because it looks easy and sexy and you have to deal with people. And I made those mistakes. And maybe you have made some of those mistakes and got burned. What I should have done back then was start a service first. I should have had a service first and concentrated on that service first. Because in terms of making money quickly, in terms of having less expenses, service businesses win. Okay? They just win. You can even have a home service business and have less overhead than the traditional ones. And you could still potentially win. It's a lot easier. But I didn't know that, because I wanted a subscription box and I didn't realize that, who's going to pack these orders out? Me. The things they don't tell you, right? So if you're looking to have it an easier in starting your side hustle, if you're 35 and you're older, service businesses will be your friend. That's the first lesson that I had to learn. And now you know it. But of course, there are other things to keep in mind. There are other things that are going on here. 2, this lesson here, really important, because maybe you know the first one, but the second one, a lot of us have made this mistake. Sell what people already buy. Sell what people pay not to do. Now, some of us might have grown up a little bit in the startup culture, a little bit, Maybe you got a chance to work for a startup or a very young company that wanted to create something interesting to change the world. But you can't have that mindset when you're doing your own side hustle. You're not going to get VC capital to help you. You're probably coming out of pocket yourself most of the time with very little, to some cases, maybe almost no money. And the last thing you want to do is invest your time and effort into putting something together to present to people to buy from you, and they're not interested in buying it. Because this is what I've also found out in these lessons, is that sometimes people will tell you, say, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. A good idea does not mean that they would actually pay for it. I have learned that you have to ask, oh, do you want to buy this now? I'll have this started by next week. And the answers you get there will tell you all you need to know about your idea. Because the goal here is that we're doing something that makes us money so we can take care of the other things that we want to take care of in our life, whether it's building emergency funds or paying off student loans or paying off mortgages or, to help take care of somebody, whatever it is. This thing has got to make money. It can't be a nice idea that a bunch of people tell you, because unless they are willing to pay money and have paid money, you can't validate that idea as something you should go forward with. So another business owner, entrepreneur I've met told me this years ago. He said, I make business easier for me by selling things that people already buy. He likes competition. Competition means that the idea holds water, that it's validated. All he has to do is be in the right place with the right fishing. With the right fishing. Now, he actually sold fishing equipment. But I've learned this lesson from him, and I think, like, man, I wish I learned it before I did this other business and invested all this money into it, right? He said, look for what people are already buying. Look what people pay not to do, because that's going to be the key to the best ideas for you to actually go and start, especially when they're services. And a lot of us don't learn that lesson in time, and then we invest a lot of time and money. People do the LLC, they do the business cards and everything else, but then they find out too late that people are not really interested in actually spending money for the services they're offering. So look around you at things that people pay not to do. What do you pay not to do? That could be a great clue as to something you might want to offer. Look what people are already buying and take that as something that you can sell as a service. It's more important to get this part right than to have a very nice idea that you feel comfortable with. Remember, our goal is to make money so that we can do the other things that we really want to and intend to do. Not to turn around and get stuck with an idea that does nothing but waste our time. Because after all, we're in our mid-30s, almost early 40s. We don't have time to be wasting the time that we got here. We got other things to take care of and people to deal with. And so this right here has to produce some positive fruits as we go along. So we need to have a validated idea of what people are already paying for, whether it's paying to not do something and what they're already buying. That's the second thing that I've learned, a lesson that I haven't learned too late, but I wish I knew earlier. And then we'll go on to the third one. Now, I see a lot of people make this mistake, and it's a heck of a mistake to make, okay? And it's fishing. Now, I grew up fishing, and the entrepreneur I met who taught me some things sold fishing or still sells fishing equipment, tackle and stuff. So you're going to get another fishing reference here, but it's go where the fish are. with the right bait. In our essence, the right offer. Now, what does that mean? So what happens is people say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. I got this service business. And you know what they do? They stay in the Discord. They stay in the Facebook group with other people who also want to start side hustles or businesses, or they stay in a group with their friends, and they never go out and tell people that they're open for business for what their service is. And guess what happens? They get little to no customers. And getting a new customer is always harder because they are not prospecting. They are going in places where their customer is not. Your friends group most likely is not going to be your customers. But I know I'm very much an introvert, and it's hard going out there and approaching people I don't know. But I'm never going to get a customer if I just keep talking to the same group of people who are also looking for customers, because our services don't align with each other. We're not each other's customer, but it's comfortable there. It's comfortable. We don't have to face the harsh rejection because we never pitch, and we never pitch to strangers. And this is what kills most people with the business they have. We look in the wrong place. We don't take those steps forward to get there. We don't go where the fish are. If we're selling a service that is, let's say, house cleaning, and all I'm doing is talking to my friends in our friend group, I'm never going to get another customer for our cleaning business. I have to go where people are looking, whether that's Angie's List or Yelp or being on Google, wherever it is. That's where I have to be, or being in Facebook, local Facebook groups for the areas we service. That's where I have to be. Because if I'm not there, I'm not going to get any customers. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that we make when we're starting our side hustles, is that we go to places where our customers are not. And then the second part of that is we might go to the right places where our customers are, but we don't have the right service. We don't have the right offer. So because we don't have the right service and the right offer, no one buys from us. And then we fail, and then we get upset and we get depressed, and we're like, we might even blame the business we're in. And maybe it's not the business we're in. We're in a place with a lot of potential customers who are not our customers because we came in there with the wrong offer. What we have to learn is that we have to go where the fish are, where the traffic is, for people who actually buy the services we offer, have the ability and willingness to pay. And I wish I had learned this a little earlier, because I was in some fishing holes that I wasn't supposed to be in, and I wasn't having a lot of success. And I got caught up with, because I'm very much an introvert, so I'm going to go where it's safe. And it took longer sometimes to get customers because of that, until I learned that lesson and went out to the places where my customers were. And then I started selling. And so these are the three things that I want you guys to know, that when you're starting a side hustle and you're over 35, it is hard until you learn these three things. When you learn these things, like, hey, start off with a service, sell people what they already buy and what they pay or what they pay not to do. And 3, go where the fish are with the right bait / the right offer, where your customers are, who have the ability and willingness to pay with the right service for them. And your side hustling, your service business, your freelancing business is so much easier to operate. You got customers. You don't mind if you lose a customer because you have so many who are willing and ready to pay you. And I wish I just learned these 3 things a lot earlier, because things would have been a lot easier. But now you know these things, so that as you step out there to start your side hustle, your freelancing business, you have all the basic things you need to know for it not to be as hard for you, because life is already hard. As a millennial who's over 35, life will throw punches at you. When you're trying to do your side hustle, there's always something that will come in the way. And I don't want you to give up on what that is. But by now that you know these 3 things that you need to do to make side hustling a lot easier for you, make sure you go over in the video and go review them and compare the ideas that you have of what you were going to do to the ideas that I've expressed, the things that you need to know to make it easy. And then go out there and launch. And let me know what you think. Did this video help you? Did it make things a little easier for you? Because there's more to this and more to come. And the next video, which might be over here or might be over there, we're going to talk a bit about how to find your perfect group of customers for your business. So make sure that you like and subscribe so that you'll get a notification when that video's up, and it might be up over here or over here. Until next time, this is Lauren. I'm the Nerdy Entrepreneur.